Hello, this is Brian Cherrington, physical therapist at 3-Dimensional Physical Therapy in Haddon Heights. I just want to talk to you about an appropriate warm-up for your throwing athletes, so for your baseball and softball players. The one exercise that I would like to go over with you is called the karaoke. It's a great dynamic warm-up to work on hip and shoulder separation. The reason why we want to do the karaoke is to generate hip-shoulder separation. The importance of the hip-shoulder separation is to create more velocity when you throw a baseball, and you want to create that torque. So when you watch me go, you see my hips are starting to turn towards my target, my throwing target, while my arms are starting to stay parallel to the wall. One of the exercises we're going to do today is called a prone T. So this is a great exercise to kind of get all the muscles surrounding your shoulder blade active. And this is going to target the one specific called the mid-trap. So what we're going to have here Jeremy do is we're going to retract those shoulder blades back for me, and then down, and then he's going to lift his arms off the table. And it's okay at the baseball field if you don't have a table, you can just lay on the grass and put your glove as like a pillow in front of your head. One of the other exercises we're going to do is called a prone Y. And what I'm going to have Jeremy do is going to continue doing that shoulder blade retraction back and down. And then from here, he's going to lift his arms off the table. And this is going to activate the low trap. And for a good warm up, I would like you to do 2 sets of 10. So a great way to get mobility through your thoracic spine is called an exercise called the thread the needle. So I'm going to have Jeremy demonstrate that for us today. So he's going to take his left arm first and he's going to reach underneath. And he's going to try to touch his left shoulder on the ground and feel a great stretch in this area of his spine. And after he holds that for about 5 seconds, he's going to reach up to the sky and hold that for 5 seconds and feel another great stretch on the other side of his spine. I'll have you do this 2 sets of 10 on each side. A great exercise to get the legs warmed up as well as rotation in your thoracic spine is a lunge and a twist. So I'm going to have Jeremy demonstrate this first. So he's just going to take a lunge with one leg, and then from this position he's just going to have his arms in front of him, and then he's just going to rotate as far as he can to the left and then as far as he can to the right. And then I'll have him take another step with his other leg and do the same thing. For a good warm-up, 15 to 20 steps one direction and 15 to 20 steps back the other direction is a great way to get your legs as well as your thoracic spine warmed up. A great way to warm up your rotator cuff is to do external rotation with the band. So I'm going to have Jeremy hold that band at his side, have his elbow locked in at his hip, and we just want to make sure the shoulder blade kind of stays back and down. So just kind of like what we worked on those prone T's and Y's. And from here, I'm going to have him take this band and open up his hand as far out as he can. And as we can see here, Jeremy's starting to open up his elbow, so we're going to actually have him correct that, and we're going to keep that elbow right to his side. Okay, so we'll try that again, Jeremy. Good, and then we'll bring it all the way back to the belly button. A great warm-up for baseball players would be 2 sets of 15 before they throw. After one completes external rotation at their side, you want to kind of move the arm up into this 90-90 position, just kind of put it more in that throwing position. So from here, I'm going to have Jeremy just kind of do external rotation, so he's going to take the top of his hand and rotate back for me. And some things that you really want to make sure you consider is that you keep this shoulder down. So you don't want to see this shoulder elevate like someone would hold their phone, their cell phone as they're driving or anything like that. Okay, so you just want to make sure that shoulder blade stays nice and down, and then to make sure you have that good stability in that shoulder blade. And then he's going to rotate forward, nice and controlled, and you'll do 2 sets of 15 as a warm-up. Another rotator cuff exercise that you want to do to make sure you get the internal rotators is internal rotation at 90 degrees. So Jeremy's here in that 90-90 position again, and what we're going to have him do is keep that same shoulder plane like we did here in the external rotation, and then he's going to drive his palm down to the ground. And he's just have that same control back into that external rotation. Another good warm-up will be 2 sets of 15 for throwers. The last band exercise that I would like you to do as a warm-up is called a face pull plus external rotation plus shoulder flexion. So from here, what we're going to have Jeremy do is he's going to start with his arms straight, and then he's going to pull the bands back. So we're going to get all those rotator cuff muscles and back muscles to engage. Then we're going to externally rotate, perfect, and then we're going to press up to the sky in a good controlled manner. And then he's going to bring that back down, now go into internal rotation controlled, and then bring it all the way back in. So now we're putting everything together. A great warm-up would be 2 sets of 15. Some things to consider too as we face pull and external rotate, we just want those shoulders to kind of stay in that good depressed position rather than elevating towards the ears. So that's the dynamic warm-up for a throwing athlete. If you have any questions or concerns, please visit us at any location or check out our website at 3dpt.com.